Hi, you guys. Welcome to a new episode of Too Much with Shey
and Becca. Hey, y'all. How are you doing on this soon to be? I mean, for us in Jersey, at least, we're about to start seeing more consistent, warmer weather. So, you know what
Are
that means?
we?
Yes. I think they said the meteorologist at my job was saying that we're about to like get out of the cold front and start moving more into like warmer weather. So, you know what that means? I'm hearing twerk on top of cars, twerk on top of cars. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Okay, I'm happy that you're hearing that. Until I see it, I can't believe it because our weather has been here in Jersey, New York, tri-state area. It's been summer, winter, fall, spring, all in a week. And it's like, if y'all know about me, I don't play about the cold. So I already put my long coat that literally hits my ankles away because I
Oh,
thought,
I thought you were saying
like
you still
winter
had it
was.
on for a second. I was about to say Shayla.
No. I put that coat away because I'm like, oh, it's spring. Girl, these last few days have been giving winter. Okay. But hopefully, like Rebecca says, that is behind us and we are looking forward to spring, summer weather because it's April already. We're on the way to May when we're not on the way because April just started. But you know what I mean. Anyways, if you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Shayla and Becca, and we talk about all things life, sports, culture, entertainment, all the things. So we hope you guys stay along for the ride. If you are a recurring viewer, we want to say thank you guys so much. I believe last week's episode we were like, we want to reach 500. So thank you guys so much.
Yes.
We reached 500. It is, I know to some, like Rebecca says this all the time, it seems like 500, like whatever. But like she said, if you do the math on that, like physically imagine 500 people in a space together, that's a lot of people. So I want to say thank you guys so much.
Shayla did a little alteration to what I usually say, but yes, basically in theory, yes. Imagine 500 people in a room.
Right. We're truly grateful. If you're a recurring viewer, just check if you are subscribed, because if you're an avid YouTube watcher like me, sometimes you think, oh, well, their videos pop up all the time, so I am subscribed. But maybe you're not. So hit pause and subscribe. Thank you.
I also want to say, I feel like Shayla and I don't think we talk about a lot of things that are like controversial, but you know, people are always gonna have opinions. And it's like the video that I expected, like we talked about Jade and Ivy, I expected that video to do a little, I mean, it was controversial on like our social platforms, but the one that really was controversial was the one about the moon. And I was not expect I was like,
I told you, people are really on the moon vibe. People were like correcting us. They're not on the moon. They're like
going
circulating the
past the
moon.
moon.
And I'm like, listen, I'm very honest. Well, our podcast is too much because one thing about us, we are a lot and we're never going to hide behind a screen. Like the same way we are here, trust and believe. In real life, we are like that. We speak our minds. We said what we said. So I don't take nothing back on that. Today on Friday, they're having like a whole special on NBC News of like the four or five people that went around the moon, child, whatever it is called. I'm happy for them. Today, Friday, they're having a whole special at 8 p.m. I'm happy for them. But again, I'm still not moved. Like I'm not watching it. I'll see the clips. And again, like I understand the importance of it. You know what I mean? Like science and all of that. But I still stand by what I said. I'm not moved. I'm happy, but like
and my thing is, everybody, there's a niche for everybody. If
right.
your niche just so happens to be about the moon and us in space, great. My niche is like at the current moment, I'm real obsessed with farm animals. So I've been watching baby goats getting fed. I've been watching the giraffes. I've been watching the apes. Like, you know, that's been for me, but not everybody gonna care about that. You know, you're not
Yeah.
moved by it.
And that's the thing. Like stand by what you want to stand by. You know what I mean? Like it's fine if you're obsessed with space exploration. Like I love that for you, but don't be mad that I'm not for that. It's not even that I'm not for that. It's just I don't care. Like I'm happy. I get it. Like, oh, that's the reason we have like wireless technology. Like I'm grateful, but that's just not something that I'm keeping up with. And don't drag me for it. Like you can still keep up, hop on this 8 p.m. special. I'm happy for you. Like let us all, I'm just like, when they did drop like a new photos of how Earth looks like from their point of view from where they were, I was like, oh, that's cute. I gave it a like, and I kept
I didn't
pushing.
even see that. I didn't even see that. Didn't even pop up because again, it's not on my timeline because I don't care.
You
And
said
the
the
one comment
apes
that
and farm animals are on your radar.
okay, but you know I love that. But the one thing comment that got me, it was just like, oh, you guys don't even understand. I wasn't even watching it, but you guys made me want to watch it now. I said, oh, baby girl, I love that.
That's
If we
good.
push you to motivate you to, you know, branch out and learn different things, baby girl, I love that. No more than you knew yesterday. I love that for you. But for me and mine, also Arby's did real good for us. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't know that many people like Arby's. I didn't know that.
They do. But I think it's mainly because, like, for us, there's no Arby's near us. And if there is, there's so many other restaurants that, like, I'm never going out my way to go to Arby's. But shout out to the Arby lovers. They gave us some good recommendations on TikTok. They said the mozzarella sticks hit. Most people, according to our comments, because you know there's going to be that 1%, not most people. According to my comments, most people go there to get chicken items, not necessarily all the extra
the
different
roast
types of
beef
meat.
and stuff.
Exactly. So shout out to that. And yeah, now let us move over to our weekly rundown where we break down our highlights of the week.
Yes. You want to go first, Shayla?
No, go ahead. Do the honors.
Girl, I just feel like I've been going for the last 3 weeks, but I mean, it is what it is. Okay. So, y'all, I always I'm an advocate and I preach, like, don't look how you feel, right? I'm always like, you know, keep them guessing. Baby, let me tell you this. Wednesday, I think Mother Nature got a warrant and a steel-toed boot at the way that this, like, the pre-period symptoms have been kicking that door before they walk in. I'm telling you. And so Wednesday, when I tell you I had zero energy in me, I don't know. I was just like, man, I'm going into work, but work about to work me. Like, that's it. Like, work is getting paid to watch me. Like, that's what it is about to be. So literally, I'm like the type of girl, I don't own t-shirts. If I do wear, I don't own hoodies. That's for sure. I have like zip up hoodies, but like, I don't have the ones you put over your head or nothing like that. I got one crew neck and that's from college. Like, basically to give y'all an idea what my closet looks like. Like, my casual ain't everybody else's casual, right? So on Wednesday, when I tell you had no energy in me, I threw on a pair of leggings. I threw on some socks. I put some slides on. And then I also had a tank top, obviously, because I feel like I got to describe the whole outfit. But then I put on one of my zip up hoodies. And, you know, I have to slick my hair down at the current moment, put my little ponytail tracks on and stuff. You get it. Baby, I had none of that in me. I had my little nub of my little ponytail. I didn't even slick back the rest of my hair. I threw that hoodie on and pulled the strings. I was looking like a bean at work, a walnut, a shell of myself. My coworker's like, Rebecca, are you okay? I said, just be glad we made it into the building today. Like, honestly, a win gotta be a win. I had nothing in me. And then Thursday, you know, I felt a little bit better. I'm like, okay, like, I have a little more energy in me, this, that, and the third. Oh, Shayla, I even had a coffee. I'm like, mind you, if y'all know, I don't drink coffee. And I like green tea, but I don't drink green tea like every single day, right? But I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I need something. But I know coffee don't work on me. But I'm like, I just need to try something. Baby, I drank that coffee on Wednesday. The coffee was drinking me. I'm like...
Where you bought the coffee from, or you made it?
I got it from Dunkin'. And the thing is, my one coworker told me, like, I was like, oh, they're like, I got oat milk because y'all know I'm lactose intolerant, and I didn't feel like taking the lactate pill that day. I'm like, I just want to live a smooth life, right? Mm-hmm. And so I got oat milk, and then I got caramel flavoring. But then my coworker is like, if you get the caramel flavoring, it's gonna be sweet. And if y'all know me, the way I like to drink my coffee, well, in the past, is straight up lactose and diabetes. Like, I like it sweet. But I'm like, okay, like, I don't really want it too sweet. Like, I want it to be that coffee, like, to see if like I can get like an energizer or anything like that. And so I'm like, oh, I could do 3 pumps of liquid cane sugar. And she's like, oh, well, I don't think
that's worse.
Caramel. And I was like, oh, I don't think it's gonna be sweet. Maybe I took a sip. I said, whoa.
And 3, that is insane, girl. You should have just gotten that 1 pump of caramel. 3.
I couldn't believe it. Literally, I'm like, I don't even know how to dilute this. Like, literally, yeah, I went to the sink, I took some hot water, and like I mixed it. Girl, it was disgusting. all of that to say, baby, I tried. But we're getting a little bit better. The symptoms is still hitting me, and I'm still like a little, like today, I woke up, I was like, oh, Shayla, lucky I love her and I love y'all because, baby, I don't got it in me. But it's okay. We're going to fake it till we make it. All of that to say, baby, don't look like your circumstances. Because I looked at myself from Wednesday to Thursday. Because Thursday, you know, I put my gel in my hair, did my little slick back, put a little cute outfit on. I was like, wow, outfits, gel, it can make a woman. And then the next
Eco Gel. Do you use Eco Gel?
Yes, girl. I use Eco. Also, I use Baskin leather. I feel like I talked about this once on an episode about like that gel my cousins had put me onto in Puerto Rico. Baby, I don't know how you think this got like this, the sheen and the shine. Also, my hair is so nasty. Anyway, I just ordered some. Shayla convinced me to try Miel one more time because I was boycotting them. And Shayla was like, you know, just give them a try. Like, just because other people's experience was bad doesn't mean that's gonna happen for you too. So just give them a try again. So I ordered my products and they're supposed to be coming, I believe, today or tomorrow. So as soon as I get that, I'm about to scrubbing the scalp. Okay. The last thing I'm gonna say, Easter was on Sunday, right? He has risen, for he has risen. Yes, hashabalabaloo, Jesus. Yes. Okay, you get it. So
anyways, yes, continue.
God know my heart. He's still working on me. It's okay. So my friend's birthday was on Sunday, right? So, well, her birthday's Monday, but we went out Sunday. I'm like, okay, it's Easter, yada yada yada. So I made reservations for her dinner, everything like that. First, reservations were for 8, no shade, no tea. They showed up at 8:45. Now I was very
Who's they?
Girl. The birthday girl. Yes.
If you know anything about me and time, if I say be there at 8, baby, you're not gonna find me at 8:45. No shade.
And you know it's crazy. Last time I had 8 on that day was at 11 a.m. So I didn't eat until I was ready for like the dinner. Girl, I'm sitting there. Me and the hostess sitting there looking at each other talking. She was a very cute lady, very adorable. Loved her. She was so sweet. She was like 22. I said, oh, I remember when I was 22. Girl, live your life, right? So we were talking, but I was like, I'm texting Deanna. I was like, I'm swallowing my anger right now. Like,
so I was sitting there 45 minutes alone.
Well, I showed up. The reservations were for 8. I walked in at 8:10. So then I was really waiting for like 35 minutes, right? But still, I should not have been waiting. But again, that was like 8. And then they're like, oh, let's do something else so we can ring in her birthday at 12 o'clock. I'm like, oh, sure. Girl, I didn't get home till like 2:30 in the morning. I'm realizing just realizing I knew this, but every time I realize it, I'm like, it's because of a new experience. I'm not a spry chicken no more. I'm not a young tenderoni no more. Give me a day party. Day party me today. I'm so sorry. I can't do this out till 2:30 in the morning anymore. I woke up Monday. I said, mind you, I still have more energy on Monday than I did Wednesday. That's saying so. Baby, I walk into work. They looking at me. I'm looking at them. I'm staring at the computer. The computer staring at me. The world's spinning. I'm spinning. Like, I'm just like, I can't.
Yeah, that's a no for me. Listen, everybody know I'm a grandma. Okay, it is what it is. I try to be outside. I want to be, but don't get it twisted. People have this misconception. Number one, because I'm not really a big drinker. If it's not a coconut mojito, and maybe sometimes I'll do some Casamigos with pineapple juice, I don't want to drink. I have tried the lychee.
She like a lychee.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I have tried the lychee martinis. Those be hit or miss. Sometimes it's real good. Sometimes it's in question. But if I don't see neither of those 3 things on a drink menu, like I literally scope out pineapple, coconut, I'll see those drinks. If I don't see that, I don't want to drink, and I'll drink water. And that's already to some people like, you don't want to drink? No, I don't want to drink. And people like associate that with like, you're not trying to have fun. Baby, I don't need liquor to have fun. And we've discussed this on a podcast. I also don't need weed to have fun. I can have fun just me sober, just on the wake up. Okay. And number 2, I don't like being outside too late. Like the club is cute and all, but like you spend so much money. Like that's you spending a night a flight that you can go to a whole other state or country on one night for what? For what? Not for me. I prefer going to do activities or trying something new versus just because what do you leave the club with what? I guess memories if you find yourself a man. But my man not at the club. I tried that for years. I'm still single. So he not at the club. I don't know where he at. Maybe Barnes and Noble's, child. But anyways, I'm going on a long tangent. All that to say is I agree with you. I don't want to be outside late. My
Day
bedtime is
party.
11.
I
By
feel
11 p.m. By
go ahead.
11 p.m. I need to be near my bed. If I'm not in my bed, I need to be near my bed by 11 or someone's bed.
En route to my bed, like en
Hello?
route. Okay.
Respectfully.
I was just like, yeah, no, I just cannot. Last thing, love Shayla down. I texted Shayla. I said, I just want to let you know, I really feel like I'm in need of a date with you because I feel neglected. And Shayla was like, I don't want you to feel neglected. Let's plan something for this day. I said, oh, that's men, take notes. Take notes. I tell Shayla, I want a date. Shayla said, bet. Then on top of that, sent locations because I said, oh, I never tried ramen before. She said, there's these two places we could go on that. I said, efficiency. How my friend, my closest friend, my dearest friend, my Dominicana, Puerto Rican friend outdoing the men.
And that's exactly why how can I accept less from a man? Like if I could do it, you could do it. No shade.
And like it's to the point, Shayla, like we've been so chronically single. It's to the point where like when I see like places on TikTok or anything like that, I'm like, oh, me and Shayla gonna love this. I don't even think about it. I'm like, oh, me and Shayla gotta go here. I literally have a folder saved on TikTok, places for Shayla.
That's funny. I want to see that. Because one thing about Rebecca, she'll save all these places. We've had this, like even a notes section with all these food places to eat. And then when I asked her, oh, where should we go eat? Oh, I don't care. Oh, I don't know. Girl, look at the list that you made. What you making the list for? Just for to be there?
I forget sometimes.
Okay, well, let us remember. But anyways, for my weekly rundown, other than the weather that I dislike because it's been cold, freezing, and rainy, like you just never know what you're gonna get. My week was good. Have you ever tried? I tried a sumo orange for the first time. You should. She's like an orange girl.
Pardon?
A sumo orange.
Shayla, what the frick is a sumo orange?
Correct. So this week I tried it. The people said that this is like the sweetest orange ever. Like it's easy to peel. Like it's the thing. They're like expensive. So my coworker brought one in. Mind you, I'm known at my job to be very picky when it comes to food. But I think I'm not picky. I said what I said. If I don't like it, I'm gonna say it. So they brought the sumo orange. I tried it. It was cute, but like I'm not paying no $8 for a sumo orange.
Let me just say, so the whole time you were talking, the first thing I knew I was crazy because the first I said, why are people bringing things to Shayla? But it's okay, I got it right.
Why? Because
right.
I'm mean.
Right, but you know how I feel about that. Anyway, it's okay. Also, you said $9 for an orange.
Maybe I'm gassing it, but they're definitely way more than a regular orange. And their thing is like they look like this. They got like little nipple and they real wrinkly.
I can't eat that. You would have to peel it for me. It's ugly.
No, it's easy to peel. Once you like take off the little nipple, it just comes off right off. And they're supposed to be very, very sweet. The one I had was sweet, like it wasn't bad, but I'm not paying extra for a sumo orange. And then also,
no, go ahead.
Okay. Also, while I was there, people were hyping up this cookie, like, oh, I got this cookie, or like someone brought a cookie to one of like our coworkers and they were gassing up the cookie. And there's not a lot of things that I'm like, what's the word? Upset. I love a sweet treat. That's essentially what I want to say. Anything else, I'm like, oh, okay. But they kept gassing up this cookie. And I'm like, well, now I want a cookie. And similar to Rebecca, this is also signs of like when I know my period about to come. Because baby, I'm the garbage can. I want to eat everything. I'm hungry. I'm never full. So I'm in that the premenstrual vibes. And so I said, this cookie, and everybody hyping it up, girl. I couldn't wait. I literally said, okay, well, now I need to go get the cookie. It was cute. The place was called, if you guys are near the tri-state area of New York, Jersey, it was called Culture Coffee. And it was good. What I liked about it was it had a lot of chocolate, and I'm a chocolate girl. And Rebecca loves cookies.
I do like cookies, but I'm weird like that. Like when it comes to like a chocolate chip cookie, I don't like too much chocolate chips in the cookie. Like I love
Rebecca's gonna be triggered because she don't like seeing other people in videos. But this was
Right next to
us.
Shayla, y'all don't understand. My heart start to palpitate.
This was us trying the cookie. You guys see all that chocolate? It was good. Is it the best
I'm
cookie
not
I've
so close to each other.
maybe it's New York, there's not a lot of space. But was it the best cookie I've ever had? I don't think so, but it was a cute little 4.5. The cookie ate. Literally it ate. And it was cute. But other than that, that was my week. And
It's in Manhattan.
yes, in New York. Okay.
Okay.
So we had a little walk there.
I just want to also say, because I don't want y'all to think that I be playing crazy. Like, I really am crazy like that. Shayla had a work event yesterday, and I said to her, I said, have a drink for me and remind those people at your job that I'm the number one in your heart. You know how I get about my Shayla.
Yeah. And also, you know what I didn't mention? Why was I on the bus, NJ Transit, for over 2 hours? Over 2 hours. I get on the bus every day at 7:30, and usually I arrive to the destination by like 8 something, like 8:30 the latest. Why didn't I arrive to work until 10 something? And I got on the bus at 7:30 a.m. The bus driver did not take the express lane. So I'm here looking at the window while every other bus is in the express lane. And I'm like, sir, why do you have us with everybody and their mother? We need to be over there on that side. If we could get wings and fly. You remember like the flying bus?
The Red Bull?
No.
Oh, the
You
Magic
remember
School Bus.
Yes. I said we need to activate the Magic School Bus because we need to get on that express lane. I was so
Do you remember that little Uzi meme? It was just like, it's just my first day out here. Like, that's literally what the bus driver is giving.
It was probably his first day, and I was livid. And I'm like, Shayla, like, it's okay. Like, he's just learning. But when I passed that 2-hour mark, I said, I need to get out of this vehicle right now. But anyways, that was that on our weekly rundown. We hope you guys enjoyed. Comment, how was your week? Highlights, lowlights. We want to hear about it all. Now we're going to move over to our news corner. Don't run. I know a lot of people don't care about news, but I think it is important. So that's why we're going to talk about it. But if you don't want to hear, listen, it is what it is. Just fast forward to our social corner or sports corner. We got a little bit of something for everybody. So for the news corner, again, we're going to talk about Iran, Israel, and the United States. We are still in a war. The Israel and the US struck Iran over 5 weeks ago now. And although this week we allegedly we signed some sort of like ceasefire, but I don't know what something must have gotten lost in translation, because let me read my little situation here, right? So you guys know Vice President JD Vance, right? So now he is headed to Pakistan. And you're like, why Pakistan? What do they got to do with it? Essentially, Pakistan is helping the US and Israel work with Iran for a ceasefire. So Pakistan is kind of like the middleman. Help us out. When you're dealing with a situation and you're like, well, let me take my friend that understands the both of us to help this situation out. So that's literally Pakistan, the middleman.
For me.
Exactly. And no, I'm like that for a lot of people because I be knowing how to talk to different types. You know what I mean? Some people like Rebecca gonna be Rebecca. She not like about to switch how she says things. Just no. Me, it's not that I switch how I say things, but I don't know. I just know how to operate differently with different people.
She's more corporate.
Yes, but I could be uncorporate, if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, so that's why Pakistan is involved. So our Vice President JD Vance is headed to Pakistan over the weekend to kind of to try to stabilize negotiations amid the ongoing US-Iran war, to work on a broader ceasefire and diplomatic framework to prevent the conflict from spreading further. But this week, although I think like the day after the US said, oh, we reached a ceasefire deal, the next day there was the next day after the US was like, we reached a ceasefire deal, right? Israel carried out more than 100 strikes in under 10 minutes across Lebanon, leaving over 200 people injured and throwing immediate doubt on whether the agreement is actually holding. Israel says the strikes are aimed at militant targets, but the timing has sparked criticism and confusion as it appears to directly undercut U.S.-led diplomatic efforts. The result is a fast-moving disconnect between diplomacy and military action, with civilians in Lebanon caught in the middle and the region edging further into instability despite official claims of de-escalation. So if you know anything about Trump, he likes to seem as like the leader. Y'all gonna do what I say, but it really is giving that Israel's President Benjamin Netanyahu is doing what he wants to do, because literally the U.S. said, "Oh no, we reached a ceasefire," and as part of that ceasefire, Lebanon was not supposed to get strikes, and yet the next day, Israel is over here with 100 strikes to Lebanon. What is going on?
And you know what I think it is? I think sometimes like conflict, a lot of times, if people were to sit down, they would realize they're alike more than they think. Like I feel like Trump and the president of Iran, like y'all are alike more than y'all think. If y'all just sat down, y'all could figure something out, I would think, at least to me. You're muted.
Oh, what I was saying is I don't think they're alike. I think the reason why, though, Benjamin Netanyahu and Trump are alike in the sense that they want to run things how they want to run it. And I know, well, I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure that Trump is triggered, because if Trump is out here saying like, "Oh no, we reached a ceasefire deal," and then the next day you over here doing this, is like, did I not just say that we reached a deal? Because it's making Trump look bad. It's making him look like you are not in control, or he's not listening to you. And a lot of people have been saying, listen, you doing all these things, right? Because Benjamin Netanyahu is essentially like getting in your ear saying this is good, or like we're winning, we got this. And then it's like, well, clearly they don't got this, right? Or like Benjamin Netanyahu is trying to sell you some sort of like vision or dream. Is like, oh yeah, let's get into this war with Iran to end their nuclear weapon system and all of this thing. But now the US is entering its 5th week in war, right? Meanwhile, when Trump was running for president, he said he was trying to take us out of wars. And now we're entering a 5th week of war. So I don't know. I can't even imagine you're living just your regular life. Like, let's say we lived in Lebanon, and then 100 strikes in around 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes. Do you know how damaging that is for just regular people living their regular life in Lebanon? I know maybe we're not in Lebanon, but wherever you live, just think about it. You're walking, you're shopping, you're living your daily life, and you hear over 100 strikes or 100 strikes. Just, anytime that regular people are impacted, I'm just like, nothing is worth losing so many lives.
No, I get what you're saying. I just think every time we hear something like new about this war, I'm like, there gotta be like a solution. I don't know. Maybe it's because like this is my solution brain thinking. I'm like, I feel like most problems, and I'm like saying like 97% of problems, there's a solution to it. It may not be the easiest solution, it might not be the quickest solution, but I just feel like there's a solution that can happen for everything. And like innocent people don't have to get killed or injured in order to get to that solution. But that's just my way of thinking.
I agree with you. Anytime innocent people are killed, it's like, is it worth it? You like, what is the reason? And anytime people try to justify the killing of innocent people, is like, I don't care how much you try to justify and jump over backwards. No, the math is not mathing. Innocent people do not need to be killed. And it's like, I also don't like how a lot of media outlets kind of like sugarcoat what Israel is doing, because they be trying to like, words have power. And whether you realize it or not, the way different networks are covering the stories and how things are operating, sometimes it's like, well, Israel, like, you could literally say Israel killed hella innocent people. Yes, were their targets militia groups in Lebanon. Okay, yes, but at the end of the day, because the places that you struck, there was also regular people. You ended up killing the regular people, and that's just, it is what it is. Clearly, you ain't care enough to not do
And
that. Like,
and then they're gonna chalk it up as like, oh well, these are just casualties of war. Like, and it's just like, okay, but the thing is, people don't see things the way that they need to see it until it personally affects them. Imagine, like Shayla mentioned, you walking down the street, and yes, there may be like a sleeper cell right here in freaking New York City, and they go and bomb the sleeper cell, but you and your grandma were walking down the street to go get a coffee, and now your grandma under rubble dead. And now you go sit here and say, well, they didn't have to do that because it didn't impact you until it did. So you don't care. You're not thinking about the repercussions. You're not thinking about the problems. You're not thinking about nothing until it affects you. And the thing is, a lot of people are sitting here talking about, well, it doesn't got nothing to do with me. Are you not paying $5 for gas, or is that just me?
Yeah. And again, like, to the selfish mentality, it doesn't need to reach you for you to care. I get it. Like, a lot of people just, if it's not affecting me, I don't care. But that selfish thinking, especially in America, is the reason why we are where we are. Like, community-based thinking, I know is hard for some, but I think it's important for you to care, even if it doesn't directly impact you.
And I'm not gonna sit here and play hypocrite, because don't get me wrong, Shayla clocked me sometimes to be like, Rebecca, you can't think like that. Like, you got to think about others, because I'm real quick to be like, I really don't care about other people. Like, like I'm quick to say that, but Shayla's like, it's not that you have to force the care, but it has to be like a moment of like, put yourself in their shoes type of thing. Like, it's okay to be like, that's not fair. And to
Right.
say
You just
something about it.
acknowledge the, like, indiscrepancies, or like how bad it is. And the last news topic I want to talk about is that today, like I mentioned earlier in the episode, that the people, that the NASA group that went over to the moon, well, they didn't go to the moon, they surrounded the moon, something with the moon, child. They're coming back down this Friday. They got a special going. So if you are one of the people that commented and cares so much about the moon and space exploration, I love y'all down. And make sure you tune in at 8 p.m. today, because they're coming back and it's going to be a whole shebang.
And
But
since y'all care about the moon and the space so much, please name me a constellation. Please. I love to know which one y'all love so deeply, since y'all care so much.
And I know we sounding like sarcastic, but no, for
I
real. If
am.
you like it, okay, I'm being for real. If you like it, I'm all in. You like it, there's something for everybody, okay? And that's your thing. So make sure y'all tune in. But now let's move over to our social corner.
Whoa, welcome to our social corner. Is where we're going to talk about some of the things that are trending on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We see it. We want to talk about it. Not everything, but enough, right? And the first thing this wasn't on the list, but I wanted to mention it really quickly. Today, Usher and Chris Brown have officially announced their joint stadium tour for 2026. They're calling it R&B tour, but it's going to be Raymond and Brown tour, R&B, got it. It was teased on Instagram, and they're set to be a major R&B collaboration with performances featuring two of the biggest names in the industry. Now, I don't know if y'all know this, but I have a list of people that I want to see in concert, and Beyonce was one of them. And thanks to Shayla, we were able to do that. I saw Beyonce, checked one person off the list, but I've been seeing so many videos over the years of Usher in like concert and performing and things like that. And I've always wanted to see, especially when he did his Super Bowl and we saw him come out with like the roller skates and everything. I'm like, what? Like, he is a performer and he's a very talented artist. So I've always wanted to see Usher. I just was not paying them tickets to go see his residency when he had it in Las Vegas. But I'm like really interested in this because I really want to see Usher in concert. Like, he's a really good performer. The songs is always going to hit. And throwbacks, currents, like y'all can't say that this man don't got hit on top of hits. So I would definitely be interested to go to this tour to see him for sure.
Okay. I'm like, what makes you think these tickets gonna be any cheaper? Because now you adding a whole other big star name to it. But I hope for you.
You never wanted to see Usher?
Not really. Like, not enough to buy a concert ticket. No.
Okay, period. All right.
But shout
Well,
out to them.
yes.
I know for a fact that those tickets will be sold. The people, some people, like, whether regardless of how you feel about Chris Brown, um, he still has a big community. People will still support him, and people are still gonna show up for him. So good luck to them in their tour.
Yeah, I've seen Chris Brown twice.
Okay, well,
Anyway.
I have not seen him.
Anyway, so the next thing we're going to talk about is something that has been trending a lot, especially on TikTok. It's moved its way to Twitter, Instagram. You know, everybody's saying this because it's my birthday, it's your birthday, you the birthday. Okay. So this new phrase that's on the block is you the birthday. And a lot of people are like, where did this come from? You know, if you auntie and unc, people were like, what are you saying? What are the kids saying? Because you know, I feel like we're getting into that transition period where people are saying phrases. You're like, I don't know where you got that from, you know? So I knew it because like I do listen to this artist. So when I heard the song, like I was just like, I get the misconception. So let me give y'all a brief breakdown on what you the birthday means. So basically, if you know, there's this artist, his name is Honcho, and he has a song called The Birthday Girl, I believe it is, or it's called Birthday Girl. I believe it's called Birthday Girl. And so one of the lyrics that he says, he basically says, you the birthday, and like in the chorus it says you the birthday, but it's like real soft, he says girl, but people don't hear girl, so they automatically assume that it was like you the birthday. So now people have turned that phrase into like saying like you the birthday, like you the main event, or like, oh, you like, yeah, basically that's what it is. Like you the main event, you something special, that's your day, like you're the day, basic type of vibe. Now I have the clip the song, the brief like little whatever for y'all to hear it.
Girl,
So
let's hope we don't get copyrighted, but let's play.
Right, facts. It's only 11 seconds, so we shouldn't. But anyway, and I also put the lyrics on the screen so y'all can see.
It look good on your birthday. She never for your birthday. Very clean for your birthday. It's your birthday. It's me for your birthday. Peace on your birthday. She eats, she the birthday girl. Let me take the chance before I miss you.
So as y'all heard, she eats, she the birthday, and then he's like, girl, but it's like real soft. And now people have turned it into this huge trend where like people like, you know, if you're doing something good or like cute, they're like, oh yeah, you the birthday. But because so many people did not know what it meant, this one girl, I'm sure there's been multiple videos, but the one I had saw was this girl was like, y'all, like, what is like, I hate when y'all get on this internet and y'all make these trends about certain things, and then you got people like me who don't know what you're talking about. So she's like, what is you the birthday? So that everybody in her comments was like, oh, she mad, she the birthday candle, right? And so now this has become like a trend where people are now like transitioning it into other stuff. So because I just did this whole explanation, there's going to be someone who's gonna be like, oh, she the birthday planner.
I've seen one. I don't know if it has the birthday in it, but it's like you the bill. It's like when you strict, you the bill. And I'm like, I fear many people will say that I am the bill because I do be following rules and regulations, but I think it's super funny when I saw that. Of course, if you finish one video on TikTok, just know every other scroll will be based on that same topic. So I'm like, why is every single video you the birthday? You the birthday. I'm like, it literally felt like an overnight sensation. I went to never hear nothing about you the birthday, never heard that song Birthday Girl at ever. And then I'm like, did this song just drop?
It's like it was like a recently released song, yes. But like I think it was funny for me because I did hear the song and then I saw like the transition. Like, but my thing is when I heard the song, I heard girl. So to me, it wasn't just like I wasn't like, oh, like he said you the birthday. But then when I saw people being like, oh, like you the birthday, I'm like, y'all are funny and I like that. Eat down.
Yeah, the song was released September 19, 2025. So it took some time from the Birthday Girl song drop to this whole. I saw a video that was like people were trying to were coming for Honcho, is that how you pronounce his name? And like his music, like he doesn't have good music, or they were like making fun of him, like you don't really have good songs, and then they use this one like birthday, like this his song, this what he be singing. And then from there, like snowballed. But regardless of what the origin story is, just know if you see You the Birthday, get, tap into that lingo, because that's gonna be next up. We went from Young Ho to You the Birthday Girl, or You
And
the
like,
Birthday.
this one girl was like, oh, you mad? You the birthday candle. I said, you're so stupid, and I love it. Like,
Listen, one thing we try to stay up with the lingo. Thus far, I try my best. Shout out to the internet though, because you could easily search You the Birthday.
and
What's
you know
that?
it's something when Google, like, I had wanted to make sure I describe it good, like, but Google literally has a whole breakdown on it, and then they put all the different things. It's like, if like you're cold and outdated, they're like, oh, you old, you the, yeah, they say you old, you the funeral.
Ooh. Shout out to the funeral members. Listen, I'm the Bill. So if you are part of You the Bill, I am welcome in. We are accepting of all the peoples, all the strict people. We are the Bill. So, anyways, on that note, let us move over to our second trending social topic. Offset, honey. Did you think that we were not going to talk about our guy Offset? Have y'all seen all the craziness that Offset has been doing this week? He went from not the last time he was in the headlines was for allegedly being in bed with Celine Powell. And if you know anything about Celine Powell, she also a whole lot of mess. And these men just don't think, or just celebrities in general, like, what is going on in your head? But anyways, let me give you a little breakdown. So rapper Offset was hospitalized after being shot outside a casino in Florida. Authorities say the incident began as a fight in a valet area, and although police did not publicly name the victim, which we now know as Offset, representatives confirmed he was injured and he's now in stable condition with non-life-threatening injuries. Police arrested Tyone Jaden Merritt, who is known as Lil TJ, or is this a different person? I'm pretty sure it is the same, but nonetheless, they arrested Tyone Jaden Merritt on a disorderly conduct charge, and the investigation remains ongoing as they search for others involved. Rumors linking Lil TJ to the shooting were denied by his attorney, who stated he was neither shot nor charged. In addition to Offset recovering from the shooting, he is now dealing with a new lawsuit from a Detroit casino over an alleged unpaid $100,000 gambling credit line, as well as prior tax issues. So
I just want to show, if you all know what Offset and Lil TJ look like. Offset is the person on the left, and Lil TJ is the one on the right. If you ain't know what they look like.
Yeah. First of all, when I saw this news, I'm like, I never in my life was linking Lil TJ to Offset. I didn't even know they were in the same circles, the same nothing, but I guess they are. But I remember when Offset and Cardi B were in their divorce, like newly divorced era, and Offset was trying to ask Cardi B for money. I was like, it be the men that swear they got all this money. The more men show money and chains, the broker they are. And Offset is a clear example of that. All these rappers be like, I got money, big chain, yeah, that. You're broke. You're asking Cardi B for money. And then on top of that, if you know your money is not as high as you claim it is, right? You're not really living that rapper money lavish life. Why are you gambling? And obviously it is clear that Offset has a gambling problem, because after this news came out that he was like shot outside of a casino in Florida, a lot of people have taken to social media to say like they've also had issues when it comes to Offset and gambling, right? Like he would be a part of a bet and then not want to pay the money after, like, you lost, now give me my money type thing. So I'm just like, I hope he gets the help he needs, because you don't have the money to be gambling. That's fine. If you want to gamble, you want to live that casino life, okay, fine. But number one, if you lose, make sure you have the money to pay up. And number two, if you know you don't have the money, don't be gambling.
But you know what they say, like, common sense ain't all that common. To me, when I saw this whole news about like Offset being shot, at first, like, I'm like, I didn't think it would, I don't know. We don't know the reasoning or what the discussion was yet as to why or what led to the shooting or anything like that. We don't even know.
Allegedly, he was not trying to pay up after he lost.
That'll do it. I just think for me, with this whole thing with Offset, is just like, I kind of gave myself like a dry chuckle when I saw this. I was like, because sometimes karma comes in its own ways. And I'm not saying like he deserved to get shot, but if you remember all the mess that he was doing, and like, I know we're talking about Cardi and people are gonna be like, oh, Cardi got nothing to do with this. But if you remember the headache this man was during the whole process with Cardi and doing everything, he think he could do whatever he wants, the universe is going to come back in full circle. It's like where you were last year is not where you're at now. And like Shayla said, if you don't got the money, why are you sitting here doing anything that's going to put you in these type of predicaments? And it's like, you also got to think at one point, you got kids. Imagine if that bullet ain't hit you in your leg. Like, you got kids. Think about it. You literally lost, I believe that Takeoff with his cousin. Like, y'all literally lost your cousin to gun violence, right? It's like, and I think even that situation was like Quavo and Offset, they were taking part in like, I think a dice game or something like that. It's like, I don't know. I feel like when certain things hit close to home, I'm just going to avoid being a part of those as much as possible, because I already saw how those circumstances impacted my life. When it comes to like the addiction, like gambling and drugs or things like that, it's because like there's a bigger issue here. Like this is a cry for help. Honestly, like, or this needs to be your wake-up call. You need to look at it as one of the two or look at it as both. I just hope he does get the help that he needs, because I feel like no one should sit there and go through those type of circumstances all the time or whatever he's going through. But yeah, he gotta pick himself.
And also, after the news broke that like he just got shot, hours later or the next day, I don't know the specific timeline, he was outside the hospital smoking. And I'm just like,
girl, he's stressed.
sir, let me tell you, as someone that has worked in these, I mean, I've worked in hospitals, like I know how it is. He did not need to be front and center of the hospital. There's like, I just feel like he wanted to be seen, or like, again, maybe I'm wrong by saying that, because, you know, paparazzi will actually do the most and to get the photos. So maybe he was in a private area and the paparazzi was just doing the most and got into his space. But I'm just like, I just don't get it. And like Rebecca said, like, clearly this is a track record and he found the right one. You might have gotten away with every other time that you never paid off the bets, but then it came to this time where you found the right one that said, well, no, actually, I need my money. Give it to me now. And like Rebecca said, I hope this is a wake-up call. Don't play with people's money the same way I am pretty sure Offset don't like people playing with his money. Other people don't like playing with their money. If you said that this is how much you was gonna pay me if you lost, just give me my money.
And I think also it just shows like the type of person you are too. Like, are you reliable? Like but this is why we kind of had that conversation whenever we talk about like when people cheat and then people are like, oh, like, why would you fire them from their job for cheating? I'm like, it shows like true character flaws. If you're not trustworthy in a relationship, now I can't trust you in a money relationship either, because you owe me money and you don't want to pay me. You married your own wife that you picked and you can't stay committed to her. Like, it just shows deep rooted character flaws. And that is what, whenever I see Offset, I've been said this, I think he's a very flawed man. And I'm not saying like, I don't like using the word flaw sometimes, because I feel like people think that, oh, like that's like an excuse for you to just be a person who consistently makes the same type of mistakes. No, but like, you're a questionable individual. Like, that's literally what it is.
Yeah. And this is also not connected for real, but you guys know Cardi B is Offset's ex. And I really, really thought that Cardi B and not Cardi B and Offset. I really thought that Cardi B and Stefan were no longer a thing. And they were seen getting out of a club in DC after one of her shows. And I'm just like, certain things, like, you can only help people that want to be helped. Obviously, I'm not helping Cardi in any way, shape, or form. That's just my girl, right? Like, she's Dominican. I love, like, she funny to me, and I always want to root for her and see her grow. But it's just like, oh my God, all the signs are pointing to leave that man, and
And
it's just.
what's funny to me is I texted it to, not texted, I sent it to Shayla on Instagram. I said, girl, if this is real, and Shayla said, unfortunately it is. I said, I have no words.
This is like, I am not a Mariah the Scientist fan, but Rebecca is. So, like, my version of Mariah the Scientist and Young Thug is Stefan and Cardi. Like, girl, why? Oh, but it is what it is. My life is stressful enough. I can't add an issue that literally has nothing to do with me. But when I saw that video, the image, I'm like, well, I guess they still are
Better
together.
her than me. That's my favorite phrase. Better her than me. Okay. So the next thing we are going to talk about is Wireless Festival being canceled and the connection to Kanye West, correct? So Wireless Festival has been canceled after headliner Kanye West, now known as Ye, was denied permission to enter the UK. The UK government refused his travel authorization, stating his presence was non-conducive to public good. Following widespread backlash over his history of anti-Semitic, racist, and pro-Nazi remarks, his past controversies included inflammatory social media posts, controversial interviews, and a recent song and merchandise referencing Nazi imagery, intensified opposition to his performance. Festival organizers said they had consulted stakeholders before booking him and were not initially alerted to concerns. After the decision, they canceled the event entirely and issued refunds to ticket holders. Ye had recently attempted to repair his image, apologizing publicly and expressing willingness to meet with Jewish community leaders in the UK. However, Jewish organizations and public officials rejected those efforts as insufficient and emphasized that meaningful accountability must come before public platforms, right? And so if y'all know what Kanye West looks like, here's what he looks like. Y'all know, yay, Kanye. Yes. So I remember when Shayla and I had this like video in the past that we talked about his apology. Like he had issued like a whole, like, I don't know, I think it was like a letter to the Washington Post.
Yeah, he like paid to have like a cover story or something like that, an ad for his apology.
Yeah. And so we kind of talked about how, like, when it comes to these type of things, like, yes, you can apologize, but the people who are impacted and affected, you can't tell them how to feel. You can't tell them to accept an apology, correct? So, like, when I saw this, I didn't know that again, I'm not in the Ye universe where I'm sitting here worried about what he's doing on a day-to-day. I heard something about him performing, but again, that don't got nothing to do with me in my head, right? So when I saw this, like the news that it was canceled, I was like, I don't understand how else they expected this to end. Like as much as like Kanye does have fans, he also has a lot of people who do not like him and who feel like his actions should never be rewarded. So it's just like you thought that putting out this apology was going to fix things, sugarcoat things, put a blanket over it, a band-aid, but no. There's consequences to your actions, and there's damaging impacts to your words. So am I mad that this happened to him? No. Oops, sorry, gotta take my pill. It's okay. So yes, if what was I saying? Yes, if this resulted in this being canceled, like I saw some people was like, oh, but like when do we forgive people? And we kind of had the conversation with Kayla Nicole a while back when her like tweets were like resurfaced and everything. And I asked the question, like, do you think that a certain grace should be offered to people? And I just think, like Shayla said, if I am not a part of that community, I can't tell somebody else how to accept an apology. I can't tell them how to react to how this person progresses, right? But in the end, the people who are impacted and the people who are offended are going to feel how they want to feel. And you can't be mad that the people who don't want to forgive you or see you progress don't want that for you. You got to move how you move now.
Yeah. And before this news broke, Kanye did have like 2 sold out concerts that he did in Los Angeles. And for one of them, he brought out Lauryn Hill. And listen, this is another thing that we talk about. Like, cancel culture sometimes feels like it's a fake thing because on social media, it may seem like, yay, like nobody supports him, no one's listening to his music, but he just had 2 sold out shows in California. So sometimes it's like, is the person really canceled, and to who? But on the other side of that, I'm just like, this reminds me of when Chris Brown also had some sort of concert going in another country. And I'm just like, aren't these things that should have been settled before you announce a headliner to a festival? Like, and this may be my type A personality, but it's like, how I know that the wireless festival said, well, the sponsors were okay with it. Okay, fine. But at the end of the day, the government is the government. And these sponsors, Pepsi, whoever the sponsors were, they got nothing to do with the government. So you need to check up and make sure that he is even allowed in the country before you put him as a headliner to a show.
And this is why we say, like, we talked about this with Tina Knowles. It's like the people that you hire are very important because, like Shayla said, there's no reason why I'm over here thinking like, oh, he about to be the headliner, and the man don't even got a visa to be able to come to the state. I said the state, and to the country in which y'all said that y'all booked him for. Like,
I know how much time was wasted, because before you announce these things, there's so many meetings and money talks and all of these things that need to happen. But it's like the main thing y'all didn't even focus on. And now all this hard work that you put in, finding sponsors, setting up meetings for the sponsors to agree, for what? All of that is going to waste. The whole shebang is canceled now because y'all didn't check that he was able to enter the country. Like, I just think it's mind-blowing. And sometimes, like, just in our personal lives, we get ahead of ourselves before we like take a step back and let's go back to square one. What's the first thing we need to ensure? Oh, let's make sure that Kanye is welcomed in the country.
My whole thing is like, regardless of how people feel about Kanye, the one thing we can all acknowledge is that he is a controversial individual. Some people rock with him, some people don't. If I'm going to have a controversial individual, it's like, to me, it's just like, I'm going to make sure everything is set in stone and set in place before I sit there and even announce any singular thing. And I think also it's like interesting to me. And I know like people are going to be like, oh, she's making this about race. But I feel like, yes, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the comments that Kanye has made in the past or in the present or anything like that have not been problematic and they make me side-eye him all the time. I can't sit here and say that I'm a supporter of Kanye because I'm not, right? But I just feel like there's been times where like other musicians, like I'm saying like white musicians have made like egregious comments and things like that. And they are allowed to perform at these places and their fans are able to see them. But versus a black person, and I get it. I know what Kanye has said and the things that he's done has been very controversial and disrespectful to the communities it's been disrespectful to. But I just feel like it's like they're like, oh no, we're not allowing that. But had it been someone else who was bashing or talking about the black community, would y'all have that same energy?
Yeah. I mean, and I feel like we've talked about this, not even like in this predicament, but like just overall, we know people of color are held to a different standard. There's just like even basic things, like even in corporate life, sometimes I have to check what I say with my other people of color at work. I'm like, oh, does this sound mean? Because literally I could say the same thing that a white person says, but the way I say is taken out of context, or like, oh, you're being too loud, or it's too pushy, or you're, you know, like the angry black woman trope. It's like, but y'all say that all the time and it's funny and akiki, but I say, and it's like, oh, you're doing too much. Hence our name. We've dealt with that a lot in our lives, personally, corporately, career, school, all the things. So it's just like, unfortunately, it's just something that we always have to keep in mind. We are not held up to the same standards that other people are. That's just what it is. Is it right? Absolutely not. But that's just how it is.
And it is very annoying. But like I said, again, for me, I wasn't checking for Kanye. So I'm unmoved. I also was never going to go to the Wireless Festival. But to the people who were going to go, if you did have those plans, and like we said, they announced this, like, I believe a while ago. If you booked your tickets and everything to go to the UK, I'm going to be pissed. Because, like, you know, with flights, if you don't book that insurance.
Go to the UK.
Huh?
You can still go to the UK.
Girl, I'm
It's
not
not the
going for what I
festival.
wanted to go for. Don't nobody want to be eating that gray and
Like you said, the flights was already booked, so you better make a vacation out of it.
okay, make the
On that
time out of a
point.
time. The next thing I wanted to talk about really quickly is DaBaby, right? So DaBaby addressed a viral moment involving a fan who created a painting of his daughter, making it clear that he has strict boundaries when it comes to his children's privacy. The situation started when an artist approached him outside of a nightclub to give him the portrait. DaBaby ignored the fan at the time, and after the image circulated, he explained his reaction during a live stream. He emphasized that he's not comfortable with strangers, especially adults, creating, sharing, or discussing images of his kids. He clarified that his response was not meant to disrespect the artist, but to protect his children. DaBaby doubled down on his stance, saying he won't accept artwork or public use of his daughter's images and doesn't care if people disagree. He also directly told the artist on social media to remove the images and warned against using his children for attention. So I wanted to show you guys the photo really quickly. Like, this is what the artist had basically created, and like that's where DaBaby had basically said, hey, like basically delete that, right? So let me show you guys the actual incident. Hey, Rock, hey,
y'all starting to get on my motherfucking nerves. Talking about Buddy with this painting of my two of my daughters presented to me outside of a nightclub or whatever. First and foremost, I'm not the type of father that I'm not into, like, grown ass men discussing my daughters, painting pictures of my daughters, taking pictures of my kids. I don't play like that. If you play like that, to each his own. You see what I'm saying? Like, more power to you. Send that nigga a picture of your daughters, let that nigga paint them, and then show him some appreciation. Number two, I'm not no painting of my daughters outside of a nightclub. Number three, you see what I'm saying? You feel a way about, the principles I stand on with my kids and how far I go to protect them. That ain't none of my concern. Be more grateful to it. Let's go.
So, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say no shade. I'm on DaBaby side. I never thought I would say that, but like, yes, especially y'all see the news lately, how people operate. Like, you might have the greatest intentions ever, but no, thank you. Like, you was staring at my young daughters for a long time, and you wrote, like, I feel like unless someone asked for that, like, you would have been more like, I don't know the proper way to say this, but you would have been better off if you would have
inclined.
Yeah, you would have been better off just doing a portrait of DaBaby performing. Unless I asked for you to give me a portrait of my daughters, y'all see the news, y'all see the weirdos. This is exactly why my mom couldn't even let me, or the thought of me sleeping over someone's house is a no. To some people, that mean like, that's insane. Like, girl, it's just my friend's house. Why aren't you letting me sleep over? And I get that, because when I was small and younger, I'm like, Mom, like, let me just sleep over these people's house. But as a parent, you see the world that we're living in, and I'm outside a club and you just giving a photo of my daughters. Like, no, thank you.
And I know there's going to be some people who are like, oh, well, like, that's just like, people are like, I saw some people say, oh, he's making the situation deeper than what it needs to be. And as someone who says like, oh, it's not that deep, there's certain things that are that deep, especially when it comes to my kids. Well, I don't got kids, but my future kids, I don't play about them. I'm not going to play about them. Shayla's kids, I'm not going to play about them, because those are going to be my kids in extension, right? I just think when you grow up with strict parents, like growing up, we used to be like, oh my God, like my parents are so strict, like they're doing too much. But then as an adult, I see the situations that friends who didn't have that type of strictness, and I'm like, oh, the way y'all act is completely different than how I move. And I love that.
Yeah. And also to the point of like, y'all making it a bigger deal than it is. He didn't. All he did, he kept walking. Y'all made it a big deal when y'all get on social media and I'm like, oh, how could he do that? Why didn't he take it? Like, I am not inclined to do anything. I think, again, people think because you're a celebrity, like you got to operate a certain way, or like, oh, just accept it because he did that and yada, yada, yada. No, these are real people with real emotions. The same way Bad Bunny had to throw somebody's phone away because they just got in his face and was like, I want to take this photo. These are real people with real emotions. What would have really been taken out of proportion is if he grabbed the thing and broke it or threw it. No, he just kept walking. That's not for me. I mean, you did it, but that's no one asked for that. So you wasted your utensils and like, yes, this artist could have had the best intentions ever. And okay, but at the end of the day, I think that's the risk you take, right? There's several people that create merch lines or do things that they DIY it specifically for an artist in hopes of, that they accept it and it helps their brand. But that is just a thing that you just gotta like, you have to take that risk, right? They may love it, they may hate it, or they may never acknowledge it. And this as an artist when you're doing these things, nothing is a guaranteed unless you already spoke to their team and DaBaby specifically asked, I'm looking for someone to create a portrait of my daughter. Then okay. But if not, you took that risk. This was the end result.
And like, I think also for me, it's like, as someone who Shayla and I mentioned, we grew up with strict parents, right? I will never forget. And if I talk to my dad about this, he probably gonna play like he got amnesia or anything like that. But like growing up, my dad always had this pickup truck, and like it was tall off the ground. So like when I was younger, when I would have to get out the car, I would have to step on like this step thing and then get off, right? And so I remember one time we went to go see my grandma, and I'm getting out the car and I almost fell out the car. And so there was a guy walking past on the sidewalk and he was like, whoa. And like, he went to go help me. My dad, first off, I didn't know he could move that quick, right? This man whipped around the car. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I was just helping her. She was about to fall. He said, let her fall. Right? There's just certain things where it's like when it comes to your kids, I don't care as nice or how kind the gesture you think it is. Everybody has limitations when it comes to their kids. There's certain things that they accept and there's certain things that they don't accept. If this man is telling y'all when it comes to his kids, he don't play that using my kids for content, this, that, and the third, how y'all gonna get mad at how he wants to react when it comes to his kids? Those are his kids. If you don't mind people painting random portraits of your children, then that's you. Great. Have a party. Get a piñata. Hit that thing and stare at the portrait while you at it. But if he's telling y'all he don't play about that, how y'all gonna get mad at him for stating his boundaries? Don't we always tell people to reinforce their boundaries? Tell people what you like and what you don't like. If this man is telling y'all what he don't like, why are y'all mad at him?
Yeah, I never thought I would say that, but I am on DaBaby side. When I was it also DaBaby when he was over here practicing shooting with his kids.
Oh,
I think that was him. But on that note, I was like, well, I'm not on DaBaby side. But on this situation, I agree with you.
I think also it's like a cultural thing too. Like people do stuff in the South and in the country that we would not do. Like people in the country walking around barefoot. Shayla, imagine just walking barefoot in Jersey. I might need a tetanus shot.
Yeah, they also do that like in DR. A lot of my family members do.
Well,
they said that's good for you though, but
yeah, they said make their feet more susceptible or something like that.
Yeah. Well, maybe one day. But on that note, let us move over to our sports corner.
Yes.
You got 24 seconds and it's starting right now.
Hey, I just want to say really quickly, my Knicks played the Boston Celtics yesterday, and Josh Hart, you showing heart. I like that. I like what I saw. I was at work losing my mind. I said, anytime I see the Celtics lose, I'm happy. And that's Shayla's team, but it's okay. It's a healthy rivalry for us.
Period. Congratulations to you guys and the win. For our sports corner, you guys, last week we discussed the NCAA tournament. As you guys know, I was rooting for the UConn girls, and boy, did things go all the way left. Not only did we lose, honey, but the drama that came out after, I'm like, I felt like Rebecca, whereas like I could never publicly say that I like something because they always embarrass me. Rebecca was like, oh, I love these like UK podcast guys, and then literally the next day,
a week later,
they was getting canceled. And I'm like, I'm hopping on my podcast talking about I love the UConn girls and I want them to win. And then Geno acting a fool. I'm like, but anyways, let me give you the backstory. So John Staley is the head coach for the University of South Carolina. and they were playing, or they were facing UConn and Geno Auriemma in the semifinals. Well, guess what? They lost the game. And by they, I mean UConn women's basketball lost the game against South Carolina. And it was, I think we have the altercation, right? What happened at the end. I just want to first play the clip and then I'll tell you everything that came after this. So this is after, to set the scene, Dawn Staley and her team won the game. UConn lost, and this is like end of game.
I just want to say really quickly, and what's interesting to me is like after I found out more, this was like a few seconds before the game even ended. Like they were just doing their little shake off because the game was technically over. They just had a few seconds left, and then you just see this whole debacle. So let me show y'all.
Here, the officials will hold the players. Now Dawn and Geno getting into it a little bit on the sideline as Geno has to be held back. And Dawn and Geno, that's part of what makes this rivalry.
So first, I want to say, y'all know I'm always rooting for women. You know what I mean? So that's why it hurts me, because it's like in this situation, I was rooting for UConn. But I think as competitive, was he wrong? Absolutely. He was saying from things that I read that like she didn't come to like shake his hand during the pre-game handshakes or something, whatever. So he was like, I don't know what he said there that got him mad, like, oh, you only come for this handshake or something. He was mad about something. And also throughout the game, Rebecca was saying that like he was mad that fouls weren't being called. And he was like, oh, Sarah Strong, like they're breaking my player's jersey. And then they pan to Sarah ripping her jersey. So it's like the math not mathing. And it was given like Geno gave sore loser. He was mad. And he said what he said. But here's the thing. Number one, like I said, I think Geno did the most. He shouldn't have gotten in her face and yelled that for like what? They're both from Philly. And when you are competitive, like these things happen. You know what I mean? In the sense of like you get mad when you lose, when you are competitive. It does not mean that the actions that you do or what you decide to do are right. No, he shouldn't have done that. Don't be getting in Dawn Staley's face like, what's wrong with you? You lost. It is what it is. Better luck next time. Okay. But I just think people really did a little bit too much. What do you think? Like the app, like people were posting literally every second scroll were people standing up for Dawn Staley, which I support. I love Dawn Staley. She's from Philly. Like they're both from Philly. Actually, Geno is as well. But like they were posting like Geno, like this. I'm crazy, or am I crazy for that? I don't know.
I think it's kind of similar how I was with Kayla Nicole. I'm like, oh my God, like let's give her a little grace, but it's because I like her, right? So I think because you like Geno, you're giving him more of the benefit of the doubt. For me, Shayla will tell you I don't like South Carolina because after that whole thing with
Flau'jae and her brother,
with Flau'jae and Flau'jae's brother, I don't care. I never want to see South Carolina win nothing, right? So when I was like watching the game and I saw like they were arguing, like, I'm seeing this like live, like I'm like, I said, oh, the coaches, I like chippiness, right? But then I think for me, like when I saw people defending Dawn Staley, I'm like, you know, people are gonna have their stance. People are gonna speak up for
as they should.
Like, it's like 1000% go ahead. I think for me, my problem was the after, like the after of everything. It was that weak statement that Geno did not write, UConn wrote, and then he over here talking about some like I just feel like everything leading up to it. Like leading up to his second version of his apology, it's like to me, it's like I'm a firm believer in the way you disrespect me, the apology should match that same level of the disrespect, right? So it's like you sitting here telling me in a statement that you talked to Dawn, this, that, and third, does nothing for me. Because even when Dawn got up at the podium, she didn't even talk crazy about you. She kept it real cool, calm, and composed. If it was me, I can say you would have got that same action. Right?
Yeah.
But it's like you releasing a statement talking about you talked to her on the phone. Okay, that's completely fine. But I need you to get up on that podium and speak to the everybody and talk about how you messed up and how you felt bad because you talked to Dawn like that. Because even in the first statement, he talked about I apologize to staff.
He didn't mention her name.
Right. You didn't talk to the staff crazy. You talked to Dawn crazy. So I think for me, it's like when I see everybody coming to Dawn's defense, like I wasn't mad about it. I think what made me mad is everything that was following it. Like, Geno, if you want to sit here and say that you feel bad or this, that, and the third, then I need to see that in all your actions. I need you to just as loud as the disrespect. I need the apology to be just as loud. And Dawn gave you a cop out because she even issued a statement saying, let's move past this. Right. Yeah. She gave you the chance to bow out, that you don't have to do even more. I just wasn't rocking with it. If you sitting here talking about she didn't give you a pregame handshake or nothing like that.
It's not that deep.
But if you had one, would you have said the same thing? It's like, you wouldn't have. So you was just trying to find things to nitpick at because the game wasn't going y'all's direction the entire game.
Yeah, it was sore loser vibes, sore loser energy. And Dawn Staley was on the podium because her team won. So when you're still in the tournament, you still got to do press conferences and stuff. So I'm going to see when they do the exit interviews, if if Geno, the same way, like Rebecca said, the same way you disrespect, this was on live TV, ESPN, honey. I need the live TV apology. And yeah, I don't agree with what he did. It was giving sore loser. And yeah, I hate that. I still root for UConn. Like, it's like an internal thing. Like, what do I do? Do I not root for UConn women's basketball now because their coach is a sore loser and literally was arguing with a strong woman that beat him and he's just mad? Like, what do you do? Do I not root for them now?
Yeah, I don't know. That was to me, I was rooting for UConn because, Stephon Castle. But
are you gonna continue to root for UConn, or are we boycotting UConn women's basketball now?
I really only support them for real when it's the championships. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie.
Okay, well, comment down below. What should I do? Because I do root for Dawn Staley. Anytime women are doing good, you know what I mean? Like strong women that stand up and are doing I don't know.
I mean, you can still root for UConn. I think for me, it's the same way I feel about the Warriors and how I felt about the Chiefs for so long. It's just y'all do so much stupid stuff, but I got my heart is where my heart is. But if you really feel like you don't rock with it, I dropped the Chiefs because my heart just couldn't handle none of the weirdness no more. So it's really,
and it's also what the coach does has nothing to do with the players, right? I still rock with Sarah Strong. She's still that girl. You know what I mean? When it comes to team sports, I know a coach is a coach, but that doesn't represent the whole thing. Or some people feel like it does. You set the tone because you're the coach. But I just wanted to make it clear, I don't appreciate how Geno treated Dawn. And like Rebecca said, the same way you disrespected her on ESPN live TV, we need to give that same energy for the apology.
Yes. And so I did want to mention really quickly when it came to the whole who won it in the end, right?
Oh, yes.
So Michigan won the NCAA men's basketball championship while UCLA claimed the women's championship. So I just wanted to show y'all the teams that won. I was very upset because I was rooting for my UConn boys real bad. And Solomon, he wasn't doing nothing. He was on the bench half the time. I was locked in. I knew the players' names and everything. Okay. But in the end, Michigan for the NCAA men's basketball team, they have 2 players that are from Jersey. So I was like, I won. I guess I would have preferred UConn to win, but whatever. Right. But the next thing we're going to talk about, and we're going to end it on a high note, I guess you could say.
Yes.
The Chicago Sky have traded all-star forward Angel Reese to the Atlanta Dream in exchange for our first-round draft picks in 2027 and 2028, plus a 2028 second-round swap. Angel has been one of the league's most dominant players, leading the WNBA in rebounding, recording 23 double-doubles last season, and making history as the only player to average 12-plus rebounds in multiple seasons. She also led the Sky in scoring and assists. Although Angel didn't request the trade, tensions had surfaced last season after she publicly pushed for roster improvements, which led to a brief suspension. Both sides ultimately worked together on the move with no major conflict reported. I just wanted to show you guys really quickly, like, this is basically what she tweeted after it was announced, like, an Angel's dream, ATL, what's up, right? And when I saw this, I sent it to Shayla. I said, tea, right? And I'm not gonna lie to you, Shayla, when it comes to the WNBA, Shayla is the girl to go to. She know more about it than me. If you ask about the NBA, I might know a little more than her, right?
No,
But that's
you
just
will know.
thanks, sis. And so I started doing a little more research because I remember last year when I saw that Angel Reese was suspended for some games, and it was because, like, you know, she basically said at the podium, like, we gotta do better. The record was like 10 and like 36 or something like that. Like, we're not doing good at all. Like, I'm a competitive player. If I come to a team, I want to be competitive. I want to be a team that people look to as a threat, not oh, this is just a game that we got in our schedule, right? Oh, go ahead, Shayla.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, the Chicago Sky has been dragged for several years because of their lack of like competency. The same way, you know how you complain about the Giants and how it's like the issue is from the top. So if y'all don't fix the top, y'all could bring all the players that y'all want to, but if the head has no sense, this is going to continue to be an issue. Kalia Copper, before she moved to the Phoenix, she was the star player in Chicago, and they literally moved their other franchise player. Now you get Angel Reese, and the fan base thinks like, okay, like now we're on the come up now. Who cares what happened? You know, we're gonna leave the past in the past. And now you get your star player that any franchise would love to have, because as soon as it was announced that Angel Reese was going to Atlanta, the tickets of the prices spiked all the way up. Atlanta Dream has a very small stadium, and so I don't know what the franchise is gonna do about that, because clearly they're gonna need a bigger place to play. Because
her jersey for the Angel, her jersey for the Atlanta Dream literally sold out in minutes.
Yes. So any franchise would be like, you know what? Let me ensure that I nurture this, that I keep this. You know, I have a star player. She's down to ride for us. All she's asking for is like, I need help, right? Like, y'all can't expect championships, but I don't have the pieces to get me there. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I don't know if you remember Courtney Vandersloot, but she was on, she was in New York's team, right? And no shade, yes, Courtney Vandersloot is a good player, but she is getting a bit older, right? Like, Angel Reese is still super young. She just got in the league. She needs more like younger players. You know what I mean? And yes, the Chicago Sky still have South Carolina's player. What's her name? I'm blanking.
I was just gonna say they got that tall girl.
Yes, they have my girl Camila Cardoso, she's amazing. She's that girl. But it's just like the Chicago Sky, this is a reoccurring thing. And I know that fan base. I saw somebody was like, y'all might as well move the Chicago Sky to Connecticut, because we didn't talk about that news, but the Connecticut team is now going to move to Texas, which I think is crazy. But yeah, the Connecticut Sun is no longer going to be a thing. That franchise is moving over to Texas, and it's just like, child, I'm happy for Angel though, because you know, at the end of the day, we be at work more than we are in our personal lives. So it's like, if I have to go to work every day and I know y'all not really setting me up to succeed in this league, like, let me go somewhere else.
And I think for me also, I think what's interesting about it all is like, y'all traded a star player who literally, mind you, while your team is still not doing good, she was dominating the league, right? Y'all traded her for 2 draft picks, like potential players, potential talent. How many times do we see like first round picks, they get in the league and then like they're not the people or the people you expect them to be? Like Andrew Wiggins, I love him down. He was a first round pick. That is not a star player. That is a role player. Like, he's great at playing his role.
Baby,
Go ahead.
It was giving the Luka trade with the Lakers. Like, at least get something. Like, if you are going to trade away literally no shade but your lifeline, because not only is she bringing in the tickets, like, people are buying merchandise, like your money maker. make sure you get something in return, because what you got is like, you hope you can get a bigger name. And no shade, you're like, it's looking real rocky. I don't know. The Chicago Sky and the franchise, good luck to y'all. Prayers.
And like,
I think you lost the fan base, and it sucks.
I think also what is interesting to me is that the Atlanta Dream was already good last year, right? Like they had the players, they got the talent, like they made it very far. And it's just like, you just gave them another asset. Like you're basically, I just think to me, it's like, like Shayla said, it reminds me of like the Luka and AD trade. Like you went for a player who's chronically out because of injuries for a role player. Like the trade doesn't make sense. Like if y'all wanted her out, y'all could at least bargain for an extra bag of chips. Like I don't know.
Yeah, the Atlanta Dream are for a fact gonna be a problem. I've never been to Atlanta, but I have seen like their fan base. Shout out to Lo. I follow Lo on Twitter. Remember, she's the girl I met when we went to the
yeah, Shayla wanted to go introduce herself, and she did. It was so cute. She was excited.
Yeah, shout out to my girl Lo. I keep up with her. But Lo, she calls them like the hookahs, because you know Atlanta, I guess they be outside with the hookahs. So she be like, oh, her hookah squad. She got her little gift that she posts. She said hookahs are up, and no shade, they are about to be up. So they were already good, and now you adding Angel Reese, and also like personality wise, like a lot of the Atlanta players have that, like, no, I'm gonna get it done. Like, I'm gonna get that rebound. I'm gonna get this. It's like they got that dog in them. You know, it's either you got it or you don't. And I think a lot of no shade, y'all know I'm rooting for our New York team, but I hate that I gotta say New York, but it is what it is. We don't got a Jersey team. A lot of players from I'm blanking out. What's our team called? Huh?
Oh, New York Liberty?
Correct. Dang, now me forgetting about the Liberties. A lot of our Liberty players, I feel like they don't be having their dog in them. They just be so no. But the Atlanta players got that dog in them, and sometimes that could get you further than just like you just strolling around.
And I think also what they had suspended her for when she got at the podium when she was with the Chicago Sky was basically saying like, I need more assets. Like I can't do it all, this, that, third. And then y'all basically just gave her to a team to give her what she's been asking for. I mean, y'all helped in the end because like she gonna progress her career further. But for y'all, it don't make sense to me. Like y'all just did yourselves a disservice. But
yeah, but shout out to the Atlanta Dream. I still will be rooting for the New York Liberty because that's the team that's closer to me. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today's episode. We hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Too Much SB, and comment the basketball emoji in honor of
and comment the moon for me.
Oh yeah, shout out to the moon lovers. We love y'all down. Have fun. Tonight is the special. Tune in. But on that note, we will see you guys next Friday. Bye guys.
Bye.